Hi guys, how you doing? All right. On my way to visit my mum. As everyone knows, I've managed to watch Maid in Malacanang for the 4th time so far, and I have to say, each time it gets so much more emotional. You know, you seem to. It's important, I think, to fully understand the movie and the message behind the movie. There's a lot of subtleties within it. And as I don't speak Filipino, you know, I think watching it more than once is very important, because when you're watching the subtitles, you kind of lose focus on the whole message. You know, if I'm reading the subtitles, of course, I can't see the expressions and emotions on the face of the actors playing the part in the movie. You know, I believe that this movie is so important for so many reasons. Firstly, it enables like-minded supporters to connect together. And as the more I watch this movie, the more I understand the message behind it. But not only that, you know, it really resonates with me in such an emotional way. You know, I cried again, you know. This is the 4th time that I watched a movie. And again, this movie made me cry. But not always tears of sadness, you know, tears of happiness, because this is the true story that's being told. You know, nobody can dispute the unique perspective of the Marcos family, and particularly Senator Amy Marcos. You know, she was there at the time. You know, this is called Maid in Malacanang. You know, I'm not going to reveal the plot to those who haven't watched the story, but clearly there are some maids involved in this story as well, which most people know now. And to understand from their perspective what really happened. And I think, again, this is such an important movie because it resonates with OFWs, it resonates with those Filipino workers around the world. You know, we mustn't forget we have 11 million OFWs around the world. Their sacrifice is really recognized within this movie, the sacrifice of people who give up their time, you know, their household helps around the world, particularly in the Middle East. We have so many of these household helps or domestic workers. And I have to say, many of them don't get treated very well either. So life can be pretty tough. Some of them don't see their families for years on end. And I have to say, there are still some domestic workers who don't get treated very well, you know, not like the Marcos family, where all the domestic helpers and all their support workers were treated as members of the family. We hear stories in the Middle East where OFWs or so-called domestic helpers still go through such a difficult time. And I think this movie is so important because it brings people together. When I see people's emotions, when I see people's happiness, you know, it makes me feel good too. When I come out the cinema and I hear people talking about the movie, people are relieved, people are happy, people are thankful. But this is a movie now which is pretty much going to go around the world. So the world is going to know exactly what happened during the Marcos era, and the world is going to understand from the stories of people who were actually there at the time. You know, people were even calling to boycott this movie. You know, that's absolutely ridiculous, because this is the personal viewpoint. This is the personal witnesses from those who were there at the time. I'm not going to reveal the plot at all. I'm not going to speak about the intricacies of the movie. But what I'm going to say is this, you know, I've sacrificed some time over the last few weeks. You know, most of my weekends have been taken up by this movie. But, you know, I'm incredibly grateful to Director Daryl Yap, maraming salamat po sir, for everything you've done, for bringing this story out. To Senator Amy Marcos, thank you so much. To everyone involved with this production, you know, all of the actors. Some of these movie parts touched my heart. You know, to Christine Reyes, who I had the absolute honor of meeting over a decade ago. You know, to see you in this movie, and some people were be commenting on your performance, and some people will be saying things about all of the actors in this movie. But I have to say, you know, I can see you've given so much passion, given so much energy to such an important story, and I'm most grateful. And I can tell you now, as well as having watched this movie 4 times, I'll be watching it again and again. I'll be sacrificing even more of my time. But in fact, it's not a sacrifice, it's an honor, it's a privilege to meet so many like-minded people. And I'm very, very thankful. I'm very thankful for Jajara Entertainment, you know, for being there, for bringing this movie to Filipinos across the UK and to even parts of Europe. You know, your work in helping to bring this movie is really much appreciated. It takes a lot of effort, you know, to get these cinemas, to negotiate with them. So much work goes on behind the scenes. And to everyone who's supporting this movie, to all of these sponsors, to all of the people who are screening this film around the UK and Europe, you know, well done, congratulations. Please go and watch Maid in Malacanang. You know, it's such an important movie. I really think if you don't watch this, you know, you're going to miss out. Yes, I accept that it's not free to watch and it costs £40 or £30, £35 whatsoever. But if you hire a cinema to the thousands of pounds it costs to hire a cinema, people have to understand it's only right if you share that cost out with those who attended to watch. I know it's a sacrifice for some people to watch this movie, but I really do hope that you could find a way somehow to watch this incredible film. Maraming salamat po, and of course to my dear friend Robin, you know, you make me cry every time. It's really crazy. And I'm not going to reveal the plot. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the movie, but you know, to all of you, please go and watch this incredible movie. Maraming salamat po, mabuhay Pilipinas.